Alright guys, so we're going to bring y'all along with us today. Across Wolfpin Gap, we got Fender. Baby is a 1998.
Modeled after a 98.
Modeled after a 98 Springer. Of course, you got the stretch tank. Basically a chopper at this point. Missing more parts than she's got. But we're going to bring y'all with us. We're going to go ride. So R1 has arrived. She's on scene. And is that the shirt Cheyenne Gabby told you to put in a video? You don't have to unbutton everything. I am not always a bitch. Just kidding. Go fuck yourself. That's my wife there. Oh Lord. Hi guys, so let's dive into it. Alright guys, welcome to this episode of Rolling with T-Bone. As we're rolling out on Big Papa, got R1 on the back, kind of her beginning of the season ride. Supposed to be up to about 70 degrees. Excuse me guys, falling is killing me. Supposed to be up to about 70 by this afternoon, so maybe the ride will be alright. Gonna go meet up over here in town with the milkman. But anyway, if you're new here, welcome in. My name's T-Bone. I shoot motorcycle related content and any kind of content really. If you are new here and you just now found us, I invite you to go watch a few of my videos. Make sure that T-Bone and the Rolling with T-Bone crew are right for you. And if we are, maybe consider giving us a subscribe, a like, comment, share, do all that cool stuff. If you're old here, welcome back. You know what's going on. Big Papa is got all his summertime shoes on, got all his oils changed, and he's ready to ride. And hey, honestly, I'm ready to ride too. R1, this is about the right time that I start getting R1 ready to get into summer riding. Of course, if y'all don't know, R1's, you know, she's had back surgery, stroke, battling breast cancer. So I have to acclimate her slowly back to riding, because once the colder weather of fall hits, she really can't ride with me anymore until we get into spring, because the cold weather just hurts her so bad. So, but yeah, we usually do one of three rides. The first one being Wolfpin Gap, or we'll go down Aska Road and hit 52 back into LJ, or we will just go up Blairsville, cut back across Notley, and come back down that way. So I kind of decided that I wanted the first run of the season to be Wolfpin Gap, be my first run up Wolfpin Gap this season so far. And Wolfpin Gap, of course, is in Blairsville, Suchess, Georgia. We'll probably ride 60 to Suchess to two wheels only, and then for two wheels only, we'll cut across Wolfpin Gap back into Blairsville. You know, it's not a 300 or 400 mile ride, but it's actually a fun ride. And it takes a little while to do the ride, especially when you're taking your time and enjoying the scenery. But just a lot going on, guys. A lot going on my channel, man. We're expanding. We're now in Australia. I'm not sure, and the reason I say I'm not sure if I have been in Australia, I'm not sure if Hippie Trev is actually subscribed to my channel. But we got Dave's channel out of Australia. Big Dave rides a Big Road King over there. You know, Dave has quickly become a part of the Rolling with T-Bone crew, and Dave is looking at hopefully getting some Forgotten Angels, some kind of ideal worked out for over in Australia. So that's just, you know, that's awesome. And like I was saying in that comment, when me and Dave commented back and forth together a little bit, I'm not sure if there's an exact formula on how you get started. I mean, I know you have to have property to accommodate all those young men and women who have aged out of the foster care system. You know, they give them tiny homes to live in, teach them skills, teach them how to get a job, teach them how to tie their shoes, brush their teeth right. I mean, a lot goes into it. And David and Cindy, you know, that run the Forgotten Angels in Tampa, Florida, those guys could probably put you in the exact direction that you need to go, Dave. I just support the thing. You know, I don't have that kind of networking where I could do it on my own, although I live in Georgia, and there was some talk a while back within the Forgotten Angels community that they were looking to get some property somewhere around the Atlanta area. And I thought, man, if they could get up here where they're, you know, within 100 miles of me, you know, I might could start making some trips down to the Georgia property. But we'll see. I mean, all it takes is time and money. And in my life, I always seem to have way more time and way less money. But yeah, so we're growing, guys. We're our community, our whole communities are growing. You know, we're not growing like thousands of subscribers a day, but we're growing. I mean, slow and steady wins the race. That's kind of the way I've always looked at it. But I'll tell you what, guys, I got to get a little go-go juice in Big Papa here. Missing something right here. The regulars know what's missing from right here. So I will catch up with y'all in just a second. All right, guys. Oh, the players changed, but the game's still the same. Got the Fender riding back there with us on the bike he calls the baby. She's a Springer, Harley Springer, nice old bike, customed up. Whooping Gap's still the plan, guys. I guess unless something changes, but yeah. I think, I know, well, I don't think, I know I have videos of Whooping Gap in my historical files down through there somewhere if you want to go look at them. But you know, the ride out Highway 60 to Suches, Georgia is a fun ride by itself. I mean, there's some pretty nice curves, some sweeping curves out through there. But yeah, man, the milkman had to be an adult today. He had somebody coming to look at his Road King, wanting to buy it. So understand that man's got to make his money, and that's his business, is buy, sell, work on motorcycles. But yeah, the Georgia Hillbilly, he had to work on his Jeep today, so he didn't get to make the track with us. But Hillbilly is getting ready to leave out and go to Spokane, Washington, June. Yes, Spokane, Washington. You know, I said in that video that he was a better man than I could. It was, and I couldn't make the trek. I could probably ride to Spokane, Washington. But here's what caught me off guard. It wasn't just the fact that he's going to ride all the way to Spokane, Washington and back. Now, when I think riding Spokane, Washington, you're riding from one end of the country to the other. Then he's also going to do the, you know, he's going to be in the tall woods up in Northern California and play around. It's not that the fact that I couldn't do it, but he said, because I asked him, I said, well, how long do you figure you're going to be gone? Thinking, you know, probably a month, you know, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. He said, no, I'll be gone about 2.5 weeks. Guys, 2.5, the brother is riding a motorcycle and he ain't playing. He is for real going to ride his motorcycle to Spokane, Washington and back in 2.5 weeks is what he said. He said it'll take me about 2.5 weeks. You know, forget iron butt. That's just iron wheel, iron lung, iron heart, iron neck, iron knees, iron head. I mean, you know, I can get Spokane, Washington back, but you ain't gonna see my ass in 2.5 weeks. You better just cancel all my reservations if I leave after for Spokane, Washington, because I'm gonna be gone for a while. You stop your little Toyota right there. That's a good boy. He's been properly trained on how to stop a Toyota Tacoma. Well, that ain't even a Tacoma. Anyway, I feel goofy today. I don't know why. I started out this morning on Hippie's Chopper Corner, which, don't be mad at me, Hippie. I love you, brother. I was in, Hippie had a premiere this morning about 10 o'clock. And I was just acting all kind of a fool up in the comments of the live premiere. I was the only one in there besides Georgia Hillbilly. Popped in for a minute. He was like, oh my God. T-Bone ain't acting right. I ain't staying around here. I ain't going to hang out in here. I'm getting on up out of here. But I was giving Hippie a little bit of a hard time like I do Slick. Because I started by saying, is Hippie going to show up in his premiere, or is he going to just slick out? So he slicked out. He didn't show up. And I was just having fun. Hell, I can entertain myself. That's what I was saying. I'll bust myself up. No road glide boys. Look at them. God, no. And they put the cruiser in the back. Y'all dirty, no good. You don't treat a cruiser that way. You got 10 road glides and you put the one little cruiser in the back. The cruiser should have been out front, leading y'all and introducing y'all to the world. But no, he's in the back. Man, that's just low down, which I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have probably been in the back talking about, you know what, I can't see past them, so I'll just look through them. But that's what I'm saying. It's been a mess today. I have been a mess. Probably an oil slick, but I have been a mess. But you know, Georgia Hillbilly says he's going to Spokane, Washington. I don't know. I don't think I know not one person in Spokane, Washington. I'm not sure I know anybody in Washington. I know people in California. That's how you say it in the South. You put an E on the end of it. Yeah, I know people out in California, but I don't know nobody up in Washington. Which, you know, my dad went to Seattle and Tacoma, and of course now that's a different kind of story right there. Should I tell that story? My dad escaped prison here in Georgia. He had went to prison with another guy for armed robbery, and this was back in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And he had went to prison for armed robbery, and one day on the road crew, my dad just decided to clock out. He like, I ain't staying in prison right now. He escaped prison and went to Tacoma, Washington, and he stayed out there for a little while. He was out in Tacoma, Seattle area. He stayed in Seattle, Tacoma, and then finally he decided, well, I guess I've had about enough of this side of the country, so I'm gonna go back and turn myself in. And he still didn't turn himself straight in. My grandma Hazel, which was my dad's mom, said no, he didn't turn himself straight in. Don't buy into that. He came back, crawled in the ceiling, and they had to drag him out. But yeah, they called him Rabbit after that. So I got that outlaw stock in me. It shows up every once in a while, but yeah, I just, you know, why not? Why not? That's just all I can say. But I've been, yeah, I don't hit now. Slick said that he liked that long video. Of course, now the video I put out last week of the Fort Mountain ride, you better put the brakes on. Oh yeah, the ride I did last week of the ride down Fort Mountain. Of course, there was a lot of editing and stuff went into that ride, and Slick loved the longer video. He really did. He had a good time with that longer video. But I notice I don't get as many views on the longer videos. The attention span, according to my according to the analytics of YouTube, y'all who are subscribed to my channel, which I gotta discuss that with you, y'all's attention span is about 8 to 10 minutes. Then they start skipping. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like doing the longer videos. It gives us more time to hang out in the Premiere chat. But according to the analytics of YouTube, I get more views from people who are not subscribed to my channel. So, but guys, I'll tell you what, if you are here and you are watching this and you're not subscribed, shoot, it don't cost you nothing. I don't have a Patreon. I don't ask for money or nothing like that. Shoot, subscribe, come in, hang out with us. We good folks. Well, yeah, we're good folks. I can only speak for myself in that equation, though. I know Recycle Hooligans, good folks. Flipping the Blue Mules, good folks. Sick Bastards, good folks. Neil M is good folks. Scott Free's good. You know what? Scott Free ain't been around in a minute. Anybody down in the Premiere chat know what's going on with Scott Free? Scott hasn't been around. I haven't seen him in anybody's chat for a minute. I'll make sure he's all right. I know he works a crazy job with crazy schedule, but anyway, yeah. But I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to drop y'all right here, and I'm going to ride on out here to Two Wheels Only. I don't know if I'm going to shoot any there, or if we're just going to bypass it and hit Wolfpen Gap, but I'll definitely bring you back for Wolfpen Gap. But y'all just hang on just a second. All right, guys, we're getting closer to Suchets and Wolfpen Gap. But I'm going to tell you what, guys, I noticed coming up through there on just the ride to get up here, doggone, there's trees down everywhere. A tree went through a house right there, it looks like. That wind came through here, man. That wind came through here and played like it was a thug. That wind was talking about, no, y'all ain't standing up against me. I'm WWE champion. I'm going to put all you pine trees on the ground. That wind was working for the mafia. It was hitting everything. Telling you right now, that wind wasn't playing, and it was bad yesterday too here, and it started probably, it had been windy all day, but then the wind picked up to, we were having gusts over at work at the park, and we were having what felt like about 45-50 mile an hour gusts blowing things over. We were having to strap everything down. That wind was not to be trifled with. That wind to kick your front door off the hinges walking up in there talking about, where my Patreon money at, punk? Huh? Where? Where my Patreon money at? You ain't paid. But, yeah. I've talked a little bit about Patreon, and I've had people in passing to mention that to me, what's going to happen when I become monetized on YouTube. I don't know. I don't have a clue what's going to happen. I do know it's my choice as to whether I go monetize, I think, and all that good stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Easy there, Killer Son. He jerked that motorcycle up like he was done saw the light. But I don't know. That's again, it's kind of one of them things that you start getting paid to do content, then you become beholden to your Patreon members and all that good stuff, which I've said, I've covered all that in videos. And some people just don't know how to do all that stuff, meaning they don't know how to just do a nice thing and let it be. They want to constantly hold it over your head, and yeah, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. If you do something nice for somebody, just do something nice for somebody and let it go. Don't keep just bringing it up. But that's just me. You start taking money for it, then you start becoming beholden to people, and then they start kind of trying to dictate where you're going to ride and what you're going to do, and I don't know. I don't know. I ain't nowhere near being a monetized YouTuber. Don't really care if I ever become a monetized YouTuber, but it is what it is. But it's just kind of one of them things that if you take money for doing something, or somebody gives you something, then that should be the end of it. They shouldn't just keep constantly bringing it up to you. Oh, I did this, or I do this, or I did this, or if you're going to do something nice for somebody, just do it and then let it go. But Patreon, you know, that's a once a month, I think, thing. Where and I don't pay nobody. I don't do Patreon. I don't give nobody money on Patreon. Not to say that I don't think their comment's worth it. I just don't have the money to be putting that on people's Patreons for them. I'm just, you know, I live week to week. So I don't know. It's a big deal to some people, man. They got, you know, and I get it. If you're, you know, you're trying to make a living doing this right here, then absolutely. But anyway, I'm not going to rehash every bit of that out. We've done talked about that before. But doggone, son. Get it, son. Get it. I'm telling you, that crotch rocket boys, they love Highway 60. And Highway 60 comes from Morganton, Georgia to Suches, Georgia. And them crotch rocket boys love it. Wolfing Gap. They usually make a big circle, go across Blood Mountain, back over toward Helen, Georgia, Cleveland, Georgia. But yeah, I tell you what, guys, I think I'm gonna back on up out of here until we get over closer to Wolfing Gap. Then I'll bring y'all back. But I just wanted to talk about that thug wind, man. That thug wind came through here and laid everything down. That wind was talking about what a fool believes. And that wind was like, what a fool believes is that I won't come through the valley and lay every one of these pine trees on their back, huh? That wind was talking about I'm collecting the debts. You thought you were rooted into the ground. I'm going to show you, yeah, I ain't rooted. Wind was talking about you owe, so you will pay. I don't mind rain. I don't mind thunder. But it's that wind, man. That wind is rough business. That's a new rider right there. He riding this road like he's already terrified. But anyway, guys, I'll get y'all back once we get over here closer to where we're going. Alright, guys, we have made it to Wolfing Gap officially. Gonna ride over here. Appreciate y'all coming along with us today. This is probably out of our local rides, which roughly from, it's a little less than 40 miles to get to Wolfing Gap from McKaysville, Copper Hill area, but you know, probably for our local ride, just this is probably one of mine and R1's favorite local rides to do. We love riding Wolfing Gap. Of course, this is part of the Gauntlet. You can Google the Gauntlet and see part of the roads. This is, I think Jaybird said this was part of the lower Gauntlet. But you can Google the Gauntlet and see how far it goes and what all the roads are. But yeah, this is this road right here is considered part of the Gauntlet. But yeah, man, Wolfing Gap. We were talking here the other day about shovelheads and stuff. So future T-Bone right here, I know Georgia Hillbilly sent you a picture of his shovelhead. Don't be lazy. Bluetooth it over to the tablet and put it in this video. Yeah, so there it is, guys. Beautiful red shovelhead. I mean, that thing is slick. It's a good looking shovelhead. Of course, I had told Hillbilly, and I mentioned it in a couple videos back, or last video or whatever, that, you know, he should get that thing fired up when he gets back from his 2.5-week trip to Spokane, Washington. Get that thing fired up, maybe shoot some content on it. Make good content. A lot of them shovelhead groups. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been presented with, I guess, the right shovelhead. I don't know, guys. I just really don't have a good excuse as to why I don't own a shovelhead. Other than just I don't got a shovelhead. So there is that. But you know, I noticed in of course, the Fort Mountain, I shot longer clips, and I don't know if it's just because I'm using the 10 now or what the deal is, but it's pretty smooth transaction between scenes. You know, I wouldn't want to try to record like 45 minutes straight or nothing like that. I still like my scenes, that way I can add what I need to add to each scene, take away what I need to take away from each scene, meaning, you know, I can work on each scene individually. But you know, everybody's got their own way of shooting and their own way of making content, their own way of getting footage, and I think that's why we're so versatile in our group. You know, our YouTube family here is so versatile. It's because we all offer something totally different. You know, the premise is the same, motorcycles. It all revolves around motorcycles, but we offer different ways about motorcycles. I mean, me, I do talking head videos. I'm not against it. I'm not saying I won't ever do another one, but I love doing I love this. I love sitting on my bike, riding down the road, taking you guys with me, letting you guys enjoy some of the Majestic, North Georgia. Big Papa's got them Vance and Hine short shots on him, man. He sounds good when he's climbing up through here. Me and R1 have put a lot of miles on this bike right here. That's them BMW boys. They're a little bit just a little cooler than you are. Again, if we all like the same thing, this would be a dull world to live in. If everybody rode the same thing, wore the same thing, talked the same way, dressed the same way. Which I think back in the 80s and the 90s, that was probably one of our biggest fears, was not being individual. You know, we followed trends. I'm not going to say we didn't. Every generation follows trends from that generation, but you still want to do it and be individual. You know, not be just classified up in a group. And yeah, so you gotta have options. Yeah, hello, son. He just threw that wave up like howl. Like it. The ADV riders, those guys right there are hardcore. They throw on about 400 pounds worth of gear, talking about, I ain't getting cold, let's ride. I'm like, 10-4. I kind of wish I would have brought my Gauntlet gloves. Gauntlet. These are okay, but I'm telling you right now, that wind is rough, guys. That wind has got it out for you. That wind right there is vicious. Oh, thug wind. How's it going, Papa? Out here getting ready to pass through what they call Lake Winfield Scott. Look it up on Google, Lake Winfield Scott. Small lake out here. Of course, this road circles around right here and comes out by Vogel State Park. Me and R1 hadn't been in Vogel State Park in a couple of years. I used to have a season pass for Vogel State Park, but I hadn't got one in the last 3 or 4 years. Just really don't have time to go hang out at the state park long. You know, we'd go in there and hang out for lunch or something, but we got state parks everywhere. If you're ever riding up through here, there is a narrow bridge out here. Now, them signs are not fake. Them signs are for real. Tree limb laying in the road. I'm telling you, that wind's whooping these trees up. But you gotta watch this little bridge right here. It is narrow. Of course, 2 vehicles can pass over it, but you gotta be careful coming across it. Hee-haw. And that right there is Lake Winfield Scott. Water is choppy, 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 and people out there fishing like there ain't no wind blowing. I like it. Of course, we sitting up here on motorcycles like there ain't no wind blowing, so don't get mad, don't get mad. I don't know how long I'm going to let this video go, guys, because I don't know how long. The trouble is, well, for me, is the way I edit and the stuff that I use to edit, which I put a couple videos on that. Thank you guys for the reaction to that too, by the way. But yeah, I have to be careful. Once you get into the longer videos, YouTube really starts giving me a hard time with them. And I don't know, like I said, I know it's from what I used to edit with and my, but I just can't afford to go buy a $1,000 1 terabyte laptop right now. I could, but I'd be busted. No, I couldn't either. But anyway. Alright guys, so we're getting into what I feel is the most fun section of Wolfpen Gap. Thank you, brother. Get out of the way. Thank you. Good curves through here. I know a lot of people don't like hairpin turns and stuff like that, and I get it. But if you're going to ride Wolfpen Gap, you're going to have to deal with hairpin turns. That's the first thing you need to understand. Is there are some good curves on this road. Yeehaw. I let y'all know me. I ain't mad at a good curvy road. That guy riding in Dinah, he's on his Dinah Bro Special. Good looking bike, actually. And I have been flashed twice that these cops are in here somewhere. Yep. I bet they're right up here. Something right there. No, ain't no cop. Well, okay. But this is my favorite part when you come from the summit back down, because you get into some really good turns right here, good curves. As you can see by the signage, it's a straight right-hand curve at 10 miles per hour. Got signs going all over the place here, guys. Woohoo! Deep cave, a deep cave. And I'll be honest with you guys, to me this road is just as fun as going and riding the tail of the dragon, if it's not a little bit more fun. A little bit of debris in the road, and that's the thing about riding some of these roads in early spring, is the roads haven't okay, you need the English, T-Bone, you need the English. The roads haven't had time to got clean off. That still ain't right, but you got the point. I'm actually surprised we haven't met more crotch rockets than we have. Some folks call them crotch rockets. Sport bikes. We call them crotch rockets around here. Boy, pretty views too, man. Golly, man. I don't have to go out nowhere other than right here and just love the ride. And that's kind of the cool thing about living where we live here, is you can just take off in any direction and go have a good ride, have a fun ride, and enjoy the ride. And I know people say they get tired of seeing the same old stuff over and over, but I don't. Right here is one of the real good hairpins. This one is an actual U-turn. Nice deep hairpin turn right here. Yeehaw, 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 yeehaw. That's a good one right there. And then you kind of get some good little sweeping turns, curves as you go down through here. Pretty views, guys, pretty views. Here's another complete U-turn hairpin. I guess they're hairpins. I keep calling them U-turns, but it looks like a U to me. It's upside down U. This is actually a deep one right here. This one's got a lean into it right here. Yeah, boy. I like it. I hear baby back there purring. Fender getting on baby just a little bit. Yeah, boy. Here's another good one. Yep. And the camera really does not do these roads justice. I've noticed on just about any of the cameras that you can describe it, but unless you're riding it, the camera just really isn't going to do it any justice. But I'll tell you what, guys, this video is getting a little bit long in the tooth, so I'll tell you what, guys, we're coming to the end of Wolfpen Gap down here, back into Blairsville, Georgia. So me and R1 are going to try to make our way on back toward the house. But thank y'all for coming and hanging out, riding with us today, and having a little bit of crazy fun with us today. But remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're new here, go watch a few of my videos and make sure I'm right for you. And if you think I am, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button and becoming a part of the Rolling with T-Bone crew, as we're coming right out by Vogel State Park right here. But guys, until the next time, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and hey, thanks for watching.